Hello, welcome to SE CyberSafe. If you are new to this channel, kindly click the subscribe button at the right hand side of your screen and also the notification bell icon to receive updates when post. So we'll be back. Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about top 5 tips for staying safe online. I know most people have been asking, how do I stay safe online? How do I not get hacked or defrauded or scammed or whatever you might call it? Okay, so I'm going to be giving you top 5 tips. The first and the most important one is to always make sure you use two-factor authentication wherever you can. Two-factor authentication. So basically, what it's all about, if you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat, whatever platform you are on, there's always that option to strengthen your account more, and that is why the two-step verification is actually there. Okay, so you see some people getting, the consequence is that if the consequence of not getting this enabled is that if peradventure your WhatsApp or your Facebook or Twitter password is gotten by a fraudster, an attacker, a hacker, whatever you want to call it, if your password is gotten, you are not safe, because the moment they've gotten your password, they have access to your account. But the moment you have two-factor authentication enabled, the password is almost or invariably useless to them, because what this implies is that even if they have your password and they try to log into your account, if you have a two-factor authentication enabled, it will prompt them to send what the two-factor authentication does is that it sends you like an extra, it helps you to add an extra layer of security to your normal password, which is supposed to be your security. So you can get like an OTP sent to your phone, which after putting your password, you have to put in that OTP to log in. And so how does the person who has your password get the OTP if he does not have your phone, if he cannot receive the text message which is going to be sent to your SIM card? It makes it impossible and difficult for them to actualize, basically. Okay, so it is very important you have two-factor authentication enabled on all your social media accounts. It is very important. You might not know the importance now, but you might have been hearing of so many people's accounts being hacked. Even some people, they hack people's WhatsApp accounts and then start using it to send messages to their contacts, do this, do that, or I need this, and without knowing. So even if you feel, okay, I don't have money in my account, or what do I have to lose if I'm being hacked or whatever, you might not be directly affected, but a family member of yours can. It can jeopardize your family members. They can be hacked, they can be siphoned, they can be duped. So they can always from your account communicate to other of your family members or friends or relations, whatever it may be. So this is a very, very important thing you must do as a social media user. And so I'm going to show you how to enable these particular settings on WhatsApp, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. So it applies basically for any other social media platform you are on, as far as they have that function enabled, or as far as they have the function there. Okay, so to enable the two-factor authentication, make sure you go to settings, then look for security, and then you see the steps on how to do it. But in case you don't know how to do it, or in case you can't find it after going to security, there's a link in the description below. Make sure you check it out, and you'll see the steps on how to enable the two-factor authentication on any platform. It's well explained there. So don't forget, check the link below if you do not know how to do it or you have not done it, but make sure you do it. It is very important. Also, remember, for because sometimes you need to set pins except aside passwords. So for your ATM card pin, your phone lock pin, that one is not really necessary, but your ATM pin and some other pins you use online and so on, do not use common pins. Common pins in the sense, or if, for example, 0000 or 9999 or 1234, or some people even go ahead and use this particular year, which is 2019, for example. Some people use it as their pin. Some people use their birth year, which is not advisable. It is not safe, because the moment someone, imagine someone someone has been targeting you or trying to get your ATM card or something for a particular reason. The moment the person gets it without your knowledge, even before you think of, because I know now you can easily ask for your account to be locked or something. But before that, if the first thing the person will try, it's for him to try your birth year. That's the first one. Then this particular year, and then one of those common pins. So do not use those common pins, 0000 or 1234 or 6666 or 9999. All those common pins. They will also be in the link description below. You will check it. You will see the common pins that you are not supposed to use, because those ones are the first one they always go to when they want to try your pin out. They will first use those common ones. So make it tough at least. It's not something. Don't use those common pins if you've been using them. Here we have the second tip. The second tip is do not use the same password everywhere. Do not use the same password everywhere, and make sure you have a secure password. Okay, so when we talk about secure password, what do we mean by secure password? Some people feel, what password do I use? Let me use a name in a dictionary. Let me use redundant as my password, or let me use my name and maybe add two numbers, 1234. That is not a password. That password is going to be easy for those who are willing to actually to hack your account, or to those who are attacking you. Because there are people who attack and then get details and sell them online. I don't want to go into those details, but if you have such a weak password, maybe you use your name, or never ever use a word in the dictionary plainly as your password. If you have like essential, you have redundant, you have useful, you have just any dictionary word as a standalone, as a password. It's not safe enough. So what is a safe password like? A safe password must have capital letters, that's uppercase. It must have lowercase, that's small letters. It must have numbers, and also have special characters. So those four are quite and very important when creating a password. So if your password does not have those four important, the uppercase, the lowercase, the special characters, and numbers, if your password does not have four of them, your password is not safe. The reason why I said it's not safe, you might not know what goes on in the background, but there are password cracking tools which could be easily used. They call them dictionary attacks. They could be easily used to get your password if you use basic password without those four things inculcated in your password. So that's why you see most places you will see weak password, strong password, or very strong password. So make sure you have those four things inculcated in your password. Okay, so what do we mean by having a strong password? Okay, so for example, let me give you an example. I have a password like eating at 12th Street. Eating at 12th Street. That's the password. Okay, the eating, how do you spell the eating? The E, you could use a capital E, then a small a capital T, a small I, a capital N, and then a small g. So you've used the mixture of capital and small letters there. And then it's at, you can use the at, which is a special character. Then the 12, you've inculcated numbers to your password. Then street, you can just use STR. Then instead of the double E, which you can just change it to I. then T, or you can change the I to number 1. There are different ways in which you could do the password, but the main thing is that always make sure your password has those four things inculcated in them. Except if it does not, your password is not safe, and it can be easily guessed. It can be cracked with password cracking tools, in case you do not know. And so those are one of the ways you could make your account safe, by having a safe password. So then this number 2 mainly is saying do not use the same password everywhere. Okay, so you notice that some people, they have a password, they're using the same password for their Gmail accounts, for their Facebook accounts, for their WhatsApp, for their Twitter, and almost basically all their social media platform, they're using one account. And what happens in this case is that if by maybe there is a leak, okay, Facebook has a data breach or data breach, or there's a leakage in their data system, and your password is gotten by attackers, what will happen is that they will be able to gain access to your other accounts, because you basically use the same password. But if Facebook is breached and you use the different password for your Twitter or your Instagram, you know that, okay, those accounts are actually safe, that they are not jeopardized because you use a different password. So even if they try to log into those, they won't be able to do so. Okay, so make sure you have different passwords. And I know you might say, okay, I'm on like 12, or some people are on about 5 to 6 social media platforms. And you say, how would I get to remember those passwords on almost 5 different social media platforms? It should be difficult. Yeah, I know. So the best thing, there are 2 things you can do, which is number 1, you can get a password manager application. Okay, so it helps you to manage your passwords. So once you want to log into this particular social media application, it just helps you to quickly place in the password, and then gives you random password generating these functions, and you can just log in safely. Okay, you can use the same password on your social media accounts, like your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, but always make sure you use a different one for your email, because your email most times is linked to all these accounts. And if you use the same one for your email and other social media accounts, there's a problem when one is jeopardized. So but by the time you have, okay, at least you have different one for Gmail, and then maybe you're using one for your WhatsApp, your Facebook, and all the other ones, it's still a bit okay, but it's advisable to make sure they are different. And again, I forgot to mention, make sure your password is more than 10 characters long, or about 10 or more. So at least 10 characters. So this it must be up to 10 if you count it, or more than. So it must not be less than 10, unless your password is not strong. It can be medium or even weak, depending on what the password is. Make sure you do not use the same password on all your social media accounts. If you are doing that now, please after watching this video, please make sure you go back. Just find time. It does not take time. Actually. Just change your password. Start from your Gmail. If you are change the password. Use something strong. Update your software on your laptops, your computers, your devices basically, and also your applications on phone. I know some people might be like, how do I get to update apps? That most times, almost every day, I get app updates, important app updates. I see, okay, my WhatsApp needs to be updated, my Twitter, my Facebook, or this particular application needs to be updated, or even the phone itself or the device itself needs to be updated. How do I now do that? I know here, especially here in Nigeria, those abroad might have it easier to come across data, but here in Nigeria it's a bit difficult to, except where you have free Wi-Fi, to start updating lots of apps. It really consumes data. So what you do is that you find find an avenue where you get free Wi-Fi. But note, this is a bit tricky. Note, when you are connecting to a free Wi-Fi, be sure that you are not logging into any of your bank applications, or if you are logging into a free Wi-Fi, just make sure it's just to update. Just be careful on the type of Wi-Fi you connect to. So, because your device can actually be hacked if you connect to access points or or Wi-Fi that you are not sure of the source. So basically that's it. Do not connect to Wi-Fi that you are not sure of the source. Always make sure it's maybe a company or your home Wi-Fi, or a Wi-Fi that you know the source. Okay, and the only thing you can do is update. Don't go to um don't start going to websites you are browsing and you are enjoying yourself, or you feel that's the time to download movies or stuff. It's not healthy for your online safety. Don't do that. Be careful how much personal information you share online. Okay, so you might be traveling, or you might be leaving your home for some time, and then some people are fond of that. What they do is they post it on social media that, okay, I'm traveling, I'm doing this, I'm going to so place. And then when you do that, you might think, okay, um I'm just putting it out there, but not knowing that some people are monitoring you, and there are people who monitor things you post online. Okay, so they can easily you are leaving your house vulnerable for a break-in. Once they know you are not at home, you've traveled for so time, they can always now find a way to break into your homes and do damage or do what they want to do. So make sure you are careful of the social the make sure you are careful of the things you put online. It's not everything that happens to you, or that it's not everything that happens to you that you put online, basically. So there are some websites that require you to put in some certain information when you are online, personal information. They will ask you, okay, your BVN, your bank account details, and if always make sure the site is a safe site, especially a HT. Never ever put your bank details or your card details on any website that is just HTTP. Make sure you look at the top of the your address bar. Make sure it has HTTPS with that padlock sign. If it does not have that padlock sign, you know that it's not an entirely safe website. So a website like that asking you for your card details, it's not safe. So be careful of, and there are few card details that they ask. Nobody will ask you for a BVN or you get. So there are details. Make sure you know that the site is a trusted site before you fill in those details. And then fifth tip is be careful of social engineering when you are offline or online. So when you are online, basically, let me give you a story. It happened to me personally. Okay, so I was on Facebook, and then Facebook, the way Facebook is, anybody can just create a Facebook account, put this name, put so name, put a profile picture. Even not just on Facebook, Twitter, you can just write any name, even if it's not your name, impersonation, then put any picture attached. And so the person contacted me on Facebook. The person sent a friend request, and I saw this picture. It was a picture of my secondary school friend. So I was like, okay, it's been long I talked to this person. Okay, let me accept it first and know what's up or how the person has been. I accepted the request, and then the person greeted normally, so everything was flowing well. Then until the person made a particular request, then I looked. I was not suspecting before. Then when the person made the request, I was like, okay, what's then I had to confirm that I was speaking to the right person. So I asked him details that I know he should know if he really went to our secondary school. There are basic details which he's supposed to know. So I asked him at least two very easy, not very easy details he was supposed to know, and then he couldn't answer. He basically stopped the conversation. He didn't answer me again. He didn't reply anything. And then I kept trying to, like, what's up? answer now that you've not answered my question, that what's going on is, and that was where the conversation ended. So it was obvious that the person was trying to social engineer and then get details from me. So what this implies is that if even if you yourself you feel okay, or I don't have money in my account, because most people are fond of saying I don't have money in my account, so if I get hacked or if this happens, what they want to take, or if even if you don't have anything that they want to take, your friends, your family members, your colleagues, they can easily reach them. So if your account, your Facebook account is hacked, they can easily just um, contact them, and then they can start whatever they want to do. So always make sure you confirm if it's something strange. That I'm talking about online. If there's a strange request, or just always confirm that this person is who he or she says he is, or who they say they are. Always confirm. You can trust but verify. Always make sure the person is or the source is valid. Don't rush into making decisions online, especially. So the fifth time, okay, that was the final thing. But when in terms of offline also, it's not everyone you. Someone might call you, because calling now is not, calling is not an online thing, it's an offline thing basically. If you want to classify it. And so you might get the call from this saying, I'm so person from this bank account, from this bank, sorry, I need your details or this your BVN. They can never ask you for such details because they already have it. They can never ask you for a BVN because they have it. They cannot ask you for your password because they do not need it for anything. They do not need your password for anything. If they say they want to rectify your account, tell them you are fine, that you will go to the bank yourself, or you have the customer care number for your bank, or you can send an email to them. Do not give out your details to. I don't know why people keep falling for this same social engineering trick almost every time, and it's not like some people are aware, some they're just ignorant, while some people are not aware at all. So always be careful of such calls, text messages saying you pay this, you do that. Don't be, if it's too good to be true, then it's probably not true. So do not, be careful of the people, of how you talk or how you communicate to people, or the information that you receive, or don't just believe them straight up. So that concludes our top 5 tips on staying safe online. In our next subsequent videos, we'll be giving you more tips on staying safe online, and another video will cover things never ever to do online. So I hope you inculcate all these 5 tips that we've learned today, or that you might have known them, but hope you can also share this. Also click the share button to share to friends, because there are people that might not know about all these things, so they can easily know and they can make adjustments where there needs to be an adjustment or a correction. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and share, and also click on the subscribe button and the notification bell icon to get updates from us when next we upload. Thank you. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot. You fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.